Most men fail with women, not because they are unattractive, but because they are blind. They miss the signals, the subtle cues, the unspoken language every woman uses. And when you can't read her, she controls the game, not you. Machiavelli once said that power belongs to the one who understands human nature. The same principle applies here. If you can read a woman instantly, you hold the upper hand. In the next few moments, I'll show you how to decode her eyes, her body language, and even the tone of her voice, so you'll never be left guessing again. Principle 1. Reading her eyes. If you want to understand a woman instantly, you must start where her soul leaks the most, her eyes. The eyes are not just a part of the body, they are the most honest part of human communication. A mouth can lie, a voice can pretend, and a body can fake attraction, but the eyes will always betray the truth. Machiavelli taught that every ruler must learn to read signs that others fail to see. For you, the court you are ruling is not a kingdom, but the interaction with a woman. Her eyes are the court whispers that reveal her real intentions. When a woman is interested in you, her eyes naturally linger longer than necessary. She might look away quickly, but that brief moment before she breaks eye contact is charged with meaning. It is not an accident, it is a biological reaction. Attraction triggers dopamine, dopamine drives curiosity, and curiosity keeps the eyes locked longer than normal. If she holds your gaze, even for half a second more than what is socially required, she is silently confessing her interest. You don't need her words. You already have the truth. But here is the trap. Many men misread avoidance. They think when a woman looks away or refuses to meet their eyes, she hates them or rejects them. That is not always true. Sometimes, the avoidance is a mask for nervousness or vulnerability. A woman who is genuinely intrigued may not have the confidence to maintain eye contact. Her body betrays her. She looks down. She touches her face. She blinks rapidly. These are not signs of rejection. They are signals of emotional impact. She feels something, and that something is because of you. On the other hand, there are moments when the eyes will reveal absolute disinterest. If she looks through you, not at you, treating you like a piece of furniture in the room, cold, unbothered, detached, then you must not fool yourself. That look means she has already judged you irrelevant. Machiavelli warned that rulers must not deceive themselves with false hope. In your case, don't project desire where there is none. The eye contact is not neutral. It is the verdict. Here is a Machiavellian trick. Learn to hold your own gaze longer than hers. When you catch her eyes, don't flinch. Don't break first. The one who looks away first silently concedes psychological power. By mastering this, you send a subconscious message. I am the one who leads. I am not unsettled. I am not desperate. And the woman, whether she admits it or not, feels this dominance. Women are drawn to men who do not collapse under the weight of eye contact. So remember, every glance is a message. A long gaze is an invitation. A nervous flicker is a hidden confession. A cold stare is a verdict. And your ability to read these micro moments determines whether you are a man wandering in the dark or a man who owns the light. If you can decode her eyes, you no longer chase shadows. You command the truth. Principle 2. Reading her body language. If the eyes are the window to her soul, then the body is the stage where her emotions perform. Women reveal more through posture, gestures, and movement than they will ever admit with words. Machiavelli understood that appearances often conceal hidden intentions, and a wise ruler must read not what is said, but what is done. The same principle applies here. To read a woman instantly, you must train your eye to decode her body language. Start with distance and orientation. If a woman is genuinely engaged, her body will naturally lean toward you. Her feet point in your direction. Her shoulders align with yours. These are unconscious signs that she is pulling you into her personal space. On the contrary, when her torso twists away, or her feet point toward the exit, she is signaling escape. No words are needed. Her body is already telling you whether you are welcome or unwanted. Next, notice the barriers she creates. Crossed arms, a handbag held tightly against her body, or even placing a glass in front of herself. All of these are shields. They suggest caution, defense, or lack of comfort. But here is the subtlety. A barrier does not always mean rejection. Sometimes it means she feels vulnerable because you've triggered real emotions. The key is to observe whether these barriers soften over time. If the arms uncross, if the object is set aside, it means you are winning ground. One of the most revealing signals is self-touching. When a woman plays with her hair, touches her neck, or adjusts her clothing, she is often releasing nervous energy. This is rarely random. It usually indicates attraction combined with uncertainty. Think of it as her body confessing what her words are not ready to say. Machiavelli would call this a tell, a signal that slips through the cracks of her defenses. The more she fidgets in your presence, the more impact you are having. Watch also for mirroring. If she subtly copies your posture, gestures, or movements, it is an unconscious declaration of rapport. Mirroring is the body's way of saying, I am in tune with you. When she leans in after you lean in, when she picks up her drink right after you do, she is aligning her rhythm with yours. This is one of the clearest signs of interest because it bypasses conscious control. Finally, there is the touch test. Physical contact is the body's most direct language. A light brush on the arm, a playful push, or a tap on the shoulder. All are ways a woman lowers the boundary between you. If she touches you without hesitation, she is granting permission to escalate. If she recoils from your touch or stiffens when you get close, the opposite is true. Machiavelli warned leaders to read the atmosphere of the court before making a move. For you, reading her response to touch is the same. Either the door is open or it is firmly shut. The mistake most men make is overanalyzing words while ignoring the theater of the body. But the body never lies. It is honest even when the mouth is polite. So train yourself to see the hidden stage directions. Lean versus retreat. Openness versus defense. Touch versus withdrawal. Once you master this, you won't just hear what she says. You'll know what she truly feels. And that knowledge is power. Principle 3. Reading her voice and pace of speech. The voice is the bridge between thought and action, between what a woman feels and what she dares to reveal. While the eyes betray truth and the body exposes hidden emotions, the voice is where desire slips into sound. Machiavelli believed that rulers must not only observe actions, but also detect subtle shifts in tone and rhythm to judge loyalty or deceit. For you, her voice is that signal, the unfiltered music of her state of mind. First, pay attention to pitch. When a woman is excited, attracted, or emotionally invested, her pitch tends to rise. Her voice becomes slightly higher, lighter, even playful. This is not coincidence. It is biology. Elevated emotions trigger vocal changes, and attraction is one of the strongest. If you notice her voice suddenly lifting when she talks to you, it is her unconscious way of displaying interest, like a melody that reveals her mood. Second, observe pace and energy. A woman intrigued by you will often speak faster, her words flowing in bursts. as if her mind is racing to keep up with her excitement. She might interrupt herself, jump from one topic to another, or laugh more freely. This verbal energy is a direct reflection of emotional arousal. On the other hand, disinterest is marked by flat, slow, and minimal responses. If her answers are clipped, her tone monotone, or her pauses long, then her attention is elsewhere. She is signaling boredom without saying it outright. But here is the nuance. Not all silence is rejection. Sometimes, when a woman slows down, lowers her voice, and becomes deliberate, she is not disengaging. She is drawing you in. This softer, quieter tone can be more intimate than words themselves. Think of it as a whisper, meant only for you, a Machiavellian tactic of exclusivity. By lowering her voice, she is creating a private space even in a crowded room. Third, listen for emotional coloring. Does her voice carry laughter, teasing, curiosity? Or does it carry irritation, detachment, or mechanical politeness? Emotions leak through tone far more reliably than through vocabulary. A woman may say, "That's fine," but if her tone is flat, it is not fine. Conversely, a playful tone can transform the simplest phrase into an invitation. Machiavelli warned against believing mere words. The true message lies in the delivery. Another powerful sign is laughter frequency. If she laughs easily and often in your presence, she is signaling comfort and approval. Laughter is the body's social glue, a nonverbal contract that says, "I like this interaction. I want more of it." If, however, her laughter feels forced, delayed, or absent, she is withholding that approval. Finally, consider interruptions and overlaps. When a woman feels connected, she will not fear cutting in, finishing your sentence, or stacking her words over yours. It shows eagerness. When she feels no spark, she waits, gives short replies, or avoids expanding the conversation. To read her voice is to hear beyond the words. High pitch, fast pace, playful tone, frequent laughter, all reveal attraction. Flat delivery, long pauses, and minimal responses reveal detachment. And sometimes, a whisper says more than a speech. Once you master these signals, you no longer guess her feelings. You hear them directly. In Machiavelli's world, knowledge of tone was the key to survival. In yours, it is the key to seduction. Principle 4. Testing and reading. Her reactions. If you truly want to know a woman, do not only observe her when everything is easy. Test her when the balance shifts. Machiavelli taught that the true nature of a subject is revealed not in times of comfort, but in moments of pressure. The same law applies to attraction. A woman's reaction to small challenges exposes more about her desire than hours of ordinary conversation. One of the simplest tests is withholding attention. Most men smother women with constant validation, praising, texting, chasing. This reveals nothing, because any person can smile when they are flattered. But if you step back, become silent, delay a reply, or suddenly turn your focus elsewhere, watch closely. If she seeks to pull your attention back, if she becomes playful, questions your silence, or tries harder to engage, it is proof of genuine investment. Her reaction is saying, "Your presence matters to me. I don't want to lose it." Another test is light teasing or disagreement. For example, you jokingly challenge her opinion or refuse to comply with something trivial. The weakly interested woman will pull away, become irritated, or show indifference. But the attracted woman responds with energy. She teases back, argues playfully, or tries to win the exchange. The more she invests in the verbal duel, the clearer her desire. Machiavelli would say that conflict reveals loyalty. In seduction, resistance often reveals attraction. Then there is the jealousy spark. Mention, without overdoing it, that other women find you interesting, or casually divert your attention elsewhere in a group. This is not about cruelty. It is about measurement. If she reacts with sharper focus, sudden effort to re-engage, or subtle attempts to reclaim your attention, she is signaling fear of loss. And fear of loss is a more powerful motivator than hope of gain. Machiavelli himself exploited this principle with princes and nobles. You can apply it in human connection. Observe also how she handles boundaries. If you assert a limit, say no to something, or refuse to bend instantly, her reaction tells you everything. A woman who has a little interest will not care. She will let the moment die. But a woman invested will adapt, negotiate, or even test her own strategies to keep the interaction alive. Her persistence is your proof. The mistake men make is fearing the test. They believe challenging a woman will drive her away. But the truth is the opposite. Without challenge, there is no measure of value. A gem is tested by pressure. A woman's interest is tested by your resistance. If she breaks, she was never invested. If she rises, you have unveiled real attraction. Machiavelli advised rulers to keep subjects slightly uncertain, because certainty breeds complacency. In the same way, when you give a woman everything instantly, constant attention, total agreement, zero resistance, you become predictable and boring. But when you introduce small tests, you stir emotion. Her reaction to those sparks is the most honest indicator of her true desire. So remember, words can be rehearsed, smiles can be faked, but reactions under pressure cannot. Withhold, tease, spark jealousy, set boundaries, then read her response. In that moment, you will see not the mask, but the woman beneath it. Principle 5. Words versus actions. Machiavelli warned that rulers should never trust words alone, because promises can be broken, flattery can be false, and loyalty can vanish the moment it is tested. In the same way, when reading a woman, you must always weigh her actions against her words. What she says is often a performance. What she does is the truth. A woman might tell you, "I'm not really interested in dating right now." Yet she continues to message you, laugh at your jokes, and find excuses to be near you. Her words build a wall, but her actions leave the door open. The contradiction reveals her inner conflict. She wants you, but does not want to appear too easy, vulnerable, or obvious. If you listen only to the words, you miss the reality. If you read the actions, you see the attraction. On the other hand, a woman might say, "I like you," but her behavior shows indifference. She rarely initiates contact. She cancels plans. She offers excuses instead of effort. These actions reveal that her words are empty. Just as Machiavelli counseled rulers to judge allies by deeds rather than oaths, you must judge a woman by her consistency. Real interest is not declared. It is demonstrated. Pay attention to micro-actions. Does she adjust her schedule to see you? Does she remember details you told her? Does she engage when you test her attention? Or does she let the silence grow? These small actions are the true vote of desire. They cannot be faked for long, because they demand effort. Words are cheap, but actions cost energy. A woman who invests energy is revealing her priorities. Another important signal is sacrifice. If she gives up convenience, stays out late, drives across town, or delays other plans to be with you, it is proof of investment. Machiavelli noted that loyalty is measured by what people are willing to risk or surrender. If a woman inconveniences herself for you, she is showing loyalty to the bond. If she always chooses the easier path, her words of affection mean little. Beware also of contradictions. When her words and actions clash, believe the actions. If she says she's fine but her body stiffens, she's not fine. If she says she's busy but still appears, she values you. If she says she likes you but makes no effort, she doesn't. The truth is always in what she does, not what she declares. The fatal mistake men make is clinging to words that soothe their ego. They replay "I like you" in their head, ignoring all evidence to the contrary. Machiavelli called this self-deception, the most dangerous trap of power. Do not be that man. If her actions confirm her words, you have clarity. If her actions contradict her words, you have the truth, no matter how uncomfortable it feels. Remember this principle. Words are theater. Actions are reality. A woman may play many roles with her words, but her actions will always reveal her script. Read her deeds, not her declarations. When you master this, you will never be fooled by appearances. You will see straight into intention. The truth is simple. Women may disguise their feelings with polite words, playful smiles, or vague excuses, but their eyes, their body, their voice, their reactions, and their actions will always reveal the reality. When you master these 5 principles, you stop living in uncertainty. You stop guessing. You no longer chase shadows. You command the truth. And in a world where most men stumble blindly, the man who reads instantly holds all the power. But power is useless if it is not sharpened. That's why I want to hear from you. Which of these 5 principles have you noticed most in your own experiences? Which signals did you miss before that now you will never ignore again? Share your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. If you found value in this lesson, support the channel. Hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and make sure to subscribe so you never miss the next strategy. Every week, I bring you more Machiavellian secrets to help you master relationships, influence, and power. Your engagement keeps this channel alive, and together, we will continue to outsmart the game.